following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin.
Hey everyone, I'm Christine.
And I'm Gabby.
And this is 50 Shades of Bullshit. So, hi Gabby.
Hi, babe.
I haven't seen you all week. It's frustrating.
I know. I've been celebrating and basking in the glory of the LA Rams. Go Rams.
I know. Isn't that
Threw
exciting?
a gigantic party up in Wisconsin, and my apartment literally looked like I threw up blue and yellow.
Nice.
But
sexy.
It was a good day because we won.
I know. I was pretty excited. I FaceTimed Gabby the moment that the game ended, and we were like, ah! So that was pretty cool. So what's happening?
Nothing too crazy. I had a really good week. You know, I've been seeing my new boy, my new beau, and it's going really well. He did very well on Valentine's Day. Good boy.
Oh, he
got me
did.
chocolates because that is my thing. And
You
beautiful
had a
roses.
Valentine's.
Yes, lovely.
I know.
But then I was talking to some friends who are also still dating and stuff, and we were thinking about when you hit a new kind of stage of dating, like kind of stage of man, like when you kind of realize that moment, I'm not college dating anymore, or I'm not dating a guy in their 20s anymore. So we were reminiscing, and I remembered a story, like a guy that I met about a year and a half ago. He was from Chicago, and he drove up to have a drink, which is about an hour away. I'm about an hour away from Chicago.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
And I let him know, I'm like, I'll meet you halfway, to see, because if we have chemistry, we've been talking for a little while, but in person, you never know.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's fine. I'll just have one or two drinks. It will be fine. Well, magically or shocking, he did get drunk.
Of course.
And he was like, do you mind if I just crash on your couch? I don't want to be a bother, but I don't think it's safe for me to drive home. Well, what the fuck am I going to say? No, trust your luck, sir. Okay.
Yeah, you're an adult. You should have thought about that. You have an hour drive.
He followed me. The bar was closer to my home, and he followed me home. And I had a much smaller apartment at the time as well. But when he parked, he brought in a suitcase, and I was like, what the fuck? You're not fucking.
He was prepared. He was prepared.
His CPAP machine.
His CPAP machine?
His CPAP machine. So he is, I guess,
he was prepared.
Well, he was prepared, absolutely. But he needs a breathing apparatus when he sleeps. Wow, did I hit another level of men that I'm dating now? I'm no longer in my early 30s where they're have their six pack and they're sexy as fuck.
They got their CPAP
sleeping apparatuses on the first date. Well, the apartment that I had didn't have too many outlets in the living room, so he couldn't sleep on my couch. So he slept in my bed while I slept on the couch, while I'm listening to this white noise-ish of him breathing and this machine. I didn't sleep that great.
No.
And then in the morning, he came, I don't know why he didn't take it off, but he had the breathing machine still in when he walked into the living room.
No.
And literally came in, was like, why don't you come in here and cuddle with me for a little bit?
Morning, babe.
My imaginary dick was literally flaccid, because that's exactly what I want to fucking see.
Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it.
A nasal cannula in your nose. I am so horny right now.
Yeah, I don't know. People say the damnedest things, or they do the damnedest things. I don't get it. I dated someone briefly who had one of those. Yeah, it's not hot. Whatever.
But people need it. That's great. But I mean, you introduce that a little later.
Yeah. Bring it to the house on the first date in your suitcase. That's awesome. So special.
I just was sitting there. I'm like, wow, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Wow, like, is he gonna bring
Yeah.
his pill case with him next time? Like, his like, I can't.
I don't get it. Well, I had a hell of a week.
Tell me.
Last week after the show, I had a date. I was supposed to have coffee with somebody who I was super excited about. Really sweet, really cute. Looks like he had his shit together. I was really excited. Lived in Burbank, so
Close.
close. Um, it was a fantastic date. We got along so well. We had a tremendous amount in common. He divulged some really personal things that would explain where he is in his life, and I really respected it. And I told him how I felt about that, and he said, I'm really excited that you understand, and it was great. I'm just going to leave it at that because I respect his privacy. We chatted several days after by texting. And then I sent him a sunshine emoji, and he said, "Good morning." And I said, "Did you like the way I called you sunshine?" I was just being
Cute.
cheeky, kind of cute,
Cheesy.
whatever, stupid. And he said, "Hey, I need to tell you that I'm really torn right now. He said, my heart is really confused and I'm torn." And I said, "Well, what about?" And he said, "Well, there was someone I connected with a year ago, and emotionally connected with a year ago. And she literally just came back in my life and reconnected with me. And my heart is confused because I felt something with you." And I was like, What the what?" So he said he can't see both of us at the same time. And I was like, I didn't know you were seeing me. I thought we were starting to date. And wouldn't dating mean date us and see which one's a better fit? Because, who would win? I'm just kidding.
Right. Like, after the first date,
Yeah. After
like,
the first date. Yeah. It was
you would,
disappointing.
if you feel that way, if you feel that strongly that you're having conflicting feelings after one coffee date or one date,
Yeah.
maybe like,
I said, "Wouldn't you think that you would want to take a step back and evaluate why you felt something towards me after one date that you have to say that your heart is conflicted or confused?" I mean, that was bizarre. I was sad. I said, "Hey, if you need someone to talk to, I'm happy to talk to you,
you're not
but
his damn
not
therapist.
not oh, he's not going to reach out to me." I was just
Yeah, but why
ending it on a
offer? Because
nice
there's
note.
going to be that one guy that does.
I don't say it to everybody, but he went through a really traumatic thing in his life the last year and a half.
Let
Um,
the girl console him.
I
I'm
guess you're
such a
gonna have
I'm
to.
such a bitch. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you really liked me, but yet you're gonna
Yeah, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't my soulmate. Ha! Speaking of soulmates, I thought I had found my soulmate 32 years ago. I was really young. Um, I thought that he was and unfortunately, after all these years, I realized that he must not be, and that not only must he not be because he wouldn't be happy with somebody else all these years without me. But I realized I've never met my soulmate. I've never had a soulmate, and I'm completely disappointed. So, and then I met somebody named Annie Parker, who not only is she beautiful, but she's incredible. Actually going to talk to us about attracting our soulmates today. And so let me tell you a little.
Okay, so she's going to tell us a little bit in a hot second, because now I'm obviously on the edge of my seat wanting to know about Annie. Because if this is legit, I'm going to get really upset that I didn't meet her like 20 years ago. It's like The Secret. So, okay, well, I guess I'm going to. Can we bring Annie on right now so I can at least find out? Because I'm not a patient human being. Beautiful. Hi, Annie. So maybe you can like do a little introduction because I'm literally like hanging here being like, tell me more.
Hi, Gabby. Yes, yes, I can't wait. So, hello, everybody. My name is Annie Parker, and I am a celebrity energy healer in LA, but I have clients all over the world. And I do a combination of I'm a Reiki master, so I do Reiki, but I'm also a shamanic healer and a Theta healer, which incorporates some hypnotherapy as well. So, I
Can
was
you explain
talking.
what those are exactly? Because I don't know what Reiki means. I don't know what any of that means.
Yes, yes. So Reiki is actually a Japanese form of energy healing that uses life force energy, like energy from the earth, from the universe, right, to help open and clear the chakras, help things move through. Because if you've ever heard before that emotions can get trapped in the body and turn into physical things, this helps with that. So when I first became a Reiki master, I would volunteer at cancer centers and things like that because they have found it to literally ease people's pain, right? And also anxiety and things like that. So,
Hi
yes.
guys.
No, keep
Welcome
going. Keep
back.
going.
So hold on. Sorry,
Oh,
I
she's
apologize.
explaining. Yeah,
Something
no, she's
happened.
explaining her Reiki and now the chakra, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
so that goes into the chakra balancing and clearing and things like that. Theta healing is more mindset work, so healing things on a brainwave level, right? That incorporates hypnotherapy. So a lot of our mindsets really get kind of, I always see them because I see energies when I'm working on people, even from a distance. I almost see them like little seeds being planted in the back of the brain from birth through like 7 years old. So, things our parents say, if you're in a store and they're like, no, you can't have that. Who do you think you are? Well, that who do you think you are can get kind of trapped in there, keeping you a little bit small. And that's just like a
Oh my
small
gosh.
example, right? Right. So, and our parents don't know any better. They're doing the best they can, right? They think they're teaching us things that'll be, useful in life. But as adults, we have to kind of unlearn some of the things we learned in childhood sometimes. And that's where the theta healing comes in to kind of find out what subconscious hidden things about money, around love, about relationships we picked up from our parents, right? And then shamanic journeying and healing. I worked under a shaman. It's more of a
Oh,
for me. It was a Native American healer, and I have that in my family. So it was almost like something I was very drawn to, and then I learned how to journey and do kind of inner child work, which is anytime something happened in childhood or even in a past relationship, anything like that, journeying back to that point and having conversations with yourself and really healing that part of you at that point in time. So going back to that timeline to heal that.
Wow. So how did you get into this exactly?
Through divorce.
Always a man, damn it.
Luckily, yes. And really, so I wanted to do anything I needed to do to heal after divorce. So I started with, 2 years of regular therapy, which I loved. I learned so much, but it just felt like it was almost like too slow for me, right? So I was like, okay, well, like I got the therapy part. It's making me very aware of certain things. What other steps can I take to kind of speed this process along? So then I got into Reiki, and then from there I got into theta healing, and from there I got to shamanism, right? So, and then I started to incorporate all of them and embody all of them together into a 2 hour long ceremony that really encompasses all of them. And basically, after people get done with that 2 hour ceremony, I call it cord cutting and soul retrieval. They basically say it's like 2 months of therapy and a deep tissue massage all in a 2 hour session.
Now, do you do this only in person or is it virtually as well?
It's virtually as well.
Oh, cool. You're
Mhm.
definitely gonna have to write your email address or that website in that private chat so we could put that up because I'm gonna be writing it down too. Because that sounds kind of amazing. What like have you like what kind of things go into this ceremony? I mean, like, because I've heard so many different things between, like I've done tarot cards and energy healing. I've gotten like crystals I don't even know where they are, because I mean, I got so many of them. Do I really know what they're for? Not really, but I am completely interested in any way to clear that and bring that out, like clear my soul, the chakra, and bring a man into my life. Damn it.
Absolutely. And so one of the first classes I ever took was a feng shui class, right? I was very interested in like energy. I wanted good energy in my home and all of that. And, one of the things I learned from that, because we have to kind of make space. If we
Yes.
want to bring something in, we have to make space for it. Well, energetically, we also have to make space. So, and a lot of people, they'll come to me and say, I want to cut cords with my ex. I just want to be done with this, all this. And what I find often is it's not the actual person that you're cutting cords with. It's an event that happened, or something that felt very traumatic to you that happened, that you're still very attached to, because you've developed a fear of it happening again. And then that goes into you not trusting yourself not to choose the same kind of person, right?
So burning their stuff isn't part of your therapy.
Pardon me?
So burning their belongings or their stuff is not part of your therapy?
If you want to burn away. I think as far as their stuff, I don't really believe in holding on to a lot of old mementos, right? Well, we just said it. Feng Shui says, like, clear it out. We want to clear out the space and make room for someone new, right? So, like, we want to unpack all of it. We want to clear all of that out. Obviously, there will be, good things, and that's beautiful and stuff like that. But any kind of one of the biggest things I see that people hold on to are resentments. And even if you have a great relationship with your parents, I see resentments to your parents over something that, my mom, when I was little, she used to cut my hair like a boy because she didn't want to deal with my long hair. Well, that was a resentment I needed to get over. It's just like certain things like that, we tend to hold on to, and we don't even know that we are sometimes, but we tend to hold on to a lot of shit. So letting go of some of this, right, can actually make room to bring that kind of person in. And then as we do this work and you start to become more self-aware, you start to use your intuition more, because that's one of the things I work with people on too, and actually trust yourself to get more specific about what it is that you want. Because a lot of times people are like, why isn't my soulmate coming? But you're giving the universe like a million different signals as far as like what it is that you want, and nothing is clear, right? You're not giving a clear, like, this is what I want. This is like this, right? Like these are my non-negotiables, being very intentional. And then when you do start to get clear, if you do something that I call leading with loneliness, that is, if we've been alone for too long, or, we're just, because all of us deserve and crave partnership, right? Anyone that doesn't is generally lying. So, when we're craving and wanting partnership, sometimes, we know what we want, we're being intentional about it, but we see a possibility in someone. And even though they might not actually be, like they might be throwing out some red flags, they might not be the things that you had non-negotiables about, you know what I mean? You kind of start to all of a sudden overlook those things, or maybe not really hear what they're telling you when they're telling you they don't want something serious, and we're kind of all guilty of like only hearing what we want to hear and not hearing what they're telling us. Right. So like, I really like press upon, when you get those weird little gut feelings when you're out with someone, like maybe something's not right, honor that instead of leading with that loneliness and bypassing it, because that's where we tend to get in trouble.
So sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties today for some reason. But welcome to the show, Annie. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
You talked about any of the ways of attracting your soulmate, other than saying like clearing things out and being very distinct on what you want, being very precise. Is there things like, say someone has cleared out and they are open and they have worked through a bunch of things? How do we know how to recognize this? Where do we put ourselves to attract that?
So we do have to put ourselves out there. First of all, that's for some reason people really think that your soulmate's going to come to your door and find you, right? And that's not always going to work. And I myself have never been a huge fan of online dating, you know, just for my own reasons. But I do make sure, you know, if I'm going to the grocery store, I'm feeling confident by looking presentable, like what feels good to me, right? I'm always staying open because no matter where you go, it's a possibility to run into someone you've never met before, and they could be someone amazing, right? So I make sure my energy is feeling confident no matter where I go. Do I want to sometimes pull a hoodie over my head and my Ugg boots and trudge along like, you know, a college kid with the messy bun on her head? Absolutely. You know what I mean? But I try not to do that because it's like, no, I want to, when I go out places, especially the last couple of years, it's been difficult to get out too much. So I'm going to make the most of getting out and, you know, seeing who's out there, even if it's just to the grocery store or, you know, running errands or whatever, because, you know, it's in those little outings that we don't really think about that we actually, I was in my car yesterday and someone started waving to me from the next car. You know what I mean? Like it can be that simple, but that quick. And it's like, you know, you have to check in with yourself and make sure, because this is one thing too, when I talk about opening up the chakras, what a lot of us do is after we've been hurt or gone through something, we start to build an invisible wall in front of our heart thinking that we're protecting ourselves, right? So even though our mind is going, I'm ready for partnership, I want to meet someone, you can be feeling good and go out there and meet someone, and then you notice that, you know, you maybe chat for like 3 to 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and you're like, wait a minute, what happened? Like, I thought we were really good, I thought everything was going great. And you don't necessarily realize that you have that block in front of your heart that they can't really penetrate, and when they feel like they can't work their way in, sometimes they'll just walk away. And so we want to make sure when we're going out into spaces, we're going out with an open heart and being open to receiving someone new, open to someone flirting with us, right? And not being closed off, you know, go ahead and make eye contact with people sometimes. Or we have a mask on, but you can always tell when someone's smiling with their eyes, right? So, you know, it's just being open to things like that. And a lot of times we think we're open and we're really not.
How do you open your heart to have that kind of space for that?
Good question.
Ooh, okay. So that is part of what I do, right? In the 2-hour ceremony that I was talking about. And that is where I incorporate, you know, I go in and I actually like sense when there's like either like a really thick wall built up in front of your heart space. And I also teach people how you can protect your energy, especially if you're sensitive or empathic or anything like that. You can protect your energy without building that like fortress in front of your heart. Because what we don't realize is that heart space not only gives and receives love, right? And we're all very deserving of love, which is like another mindset you have to check in with to make sure that you do actually feel deserving of love, because a lot of us don't always, right? That's also a place where we receive money and abundance and all of these beautiful things, right? So when we have our heart like closed off to love, we also have it closed off to a certain amount of abundance too. So we want to open that up. And that's kind of what I walk you through is, you know, what do we need to move through to kind of start to let that down, you know, and let that light of yours and that energy of yours expand outward. Because when we start to open that up and that light expands outward, it's like a magnet. It really is. It's like a beautiful magnet. And yeah. And people like, you don't even know why, but people are just kind of looking at you and they're drawn to you and they want to talk to you and things like that. You know what I mean? Because you're actually letting people into that space. So, you know, I did a group session with like 70 people where I walked them through an hour long heart opening on the group session, right? And I recorded it, so I saved the recording, and I have it. If you guys want it, I'll give it to you.
Oh yeah, I
And
would love that. That would be cool.
yeah. So I did this for 70 people all over the world, and it was really fun because I've never done it for more than just one person at a time. But it was so impactful. People were feeling lighter. They cried, some of them. Like it was really beautiful. But like people don't realize how much they hold on to right here that feels so heavy. And then when they finally just let some of it go, they're like, oh, I can breathe, you know?
How do you know the difference between connecting with somebody that you're maybe attracted to, have a lot in common with? How do you know the difference between that and an actual soulmate? Because I thought I'd met my soulmate, but now I'm realizing that I don't think I ever have.
So here's the thing, and you'll hear different spiritual people, you know, say different things, and I will say a lot of times, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the terms twin flame, things like that. I think people use that for like marketing stuff to like sell things. But
in Judaism we call it your besheret, like your other half.
Oh, I do. I have heard that before. I like that. So, you know, you are a whole and complete person, and you want someone that complements you as a whole and complete person because, you know, they just, maybe you have spent lifetimes together, other lifetimes, you know, and there's just a part of you that just clicks. But I don't think you're missing a part of yourself at any point. You know, we want someone, a soul that complements our soul. Now, the thing is, we have many soulmates, right? We have friend soulmates, we have family soulmates. Absolutely. And unfortunately, some of those soulmates are they're here for a short time to teach you something about yourself, right? Much like I wouldn't necessarily think of my ex-husband as a soulmate, but look how much I learned, right? You asked me how I got into all of this. I learned all of this because of my divorce. So in actuality, you know, the fact that he was brought into my life to make me do what I do now, that's very much a soulmate. And so, you know, when we want a soulmate that's going to be a long-term partner, like we do often have to be aware that that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy breezy beautiful cover girl and that nothing, you know, is going to be difficult ever. You know, because a lot of times there's growing and learning to do together. But, you know, are you growing in the same direction is a huge one. You know what I mean? Are you guys similar on your path? Are you both open to growth? Because some of the problems that I see is one person is very much about their self-awareness and their growth, and the other person might not be at all. In that case, one person's going to way outgrow the other, and you're not going to continue being on the same page for very long, right? So you want to ask a lot of questions in the beginning. And I think people kind of shy away from asking some of the big questions in the beginning, and you don't have to in the first conversation. But, you know, even now, like I think, Christina, I was joking with you that now I even, you know, because LA is a place of all different kinds of relationships and things and all that. Like I have to ask if someone believes in monogamy now, you know, like pretty right off the bat. Yeah. And I never thought I would have to do that, but you have to make sure you're on the same page with a person because look, we can have chemistry with a lot of different people. Chemistry doesn't mean that's your soulmate. Compatibility is much different and a little more difficult to come by. And that's where those questions come in to find out if you're actually moving in the same direction, both into growth and willing to grow through things together.
Do you know the difference? Can you tell us the difference between, say, a twin flame and a soulmate? Because a lot of people talk about both of those. And I've actually heard through some other people that a twin flame is something that's like a constant battle and trauma and drama. But then I don't believe that should be true. I think that you wouldn't be a twin flame if that were true. So what do you think the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame is?
So it's really interesting because I probably have like a more unpopular opinion of like, I kind of think twin flame is for the birds. I really don't like, I just, I'm a tarot reader. I'm an astrologer. Like I see and respect other readers, whether it's on YouTube or wherever else. And I see like the twin flame readings and things like that. And I see twin flame like programs being sold online and all of that. And all of it saying like someone's a runner and someone's a chaser. Like, no, there will be no running. There'll be no chasing. Like, we're here to make our heart open. So our energy is magnetic, right? There is no chase there. There is no running. If you are open, like your actual person is not going to be running from you. Are there cases where it may be a case of bad timing? Sure. Might they come back around if the timing was bad, but nothing bad actually happened except for bad timing? Sure. That's generally the only time, I'll give it a pass as far as like getting back together with someone. But as far as this like runner chaser, keep getting back together, keep breaking up bullshit, like it is literally like, it's almost like a weird excuse to be okay with toxic relationships. And I am not here for it at all.
Agreed. Agreed.
So I'm not here for it. Like if you have to keep going back and forth, I always say, if you've broken up more than twice already, just give it a rest. Like let it go. So, a soulmate, it might be a lesson, but it's not here to be toxic. It's not here to, like deliberately hurt you or play these games or anything like that. A soulmate is just someone, and this is where it can be friends, it can be lovers. You feel them and you meet them and you feel like you've known them forever, like immediately upon meeting. Yeah. Like you can instantly
Gabby.
you feel like you could just have like a 3-hour conversation goes by when you've just met and it feels like it was only 2 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's just like, you just enjoy each other's souls and company and everything so much.
We call each other soul sisters. I think
that's what our tattoo here is all about.
We have matching tattoos.
Oh, I love it. See, you guys already know what it is. You already know what it is.
Yeah, I just can't find one with a penis.
Yes, me too. Oh my God.
Honey, if you can grow that, let's get the rabbi.
Yes.
I know. So you said something a second ago about how you can have a conversation with someone for like 2 or 3 hours and it just like so clicks and you're like, wow, that felt like no time at all. And we did not run out of things to say. We just ran out of time. We have to go. Here's my question for you though. Do you find that that people can connect that way and then they get together in person and it's just blah? It's like it just doesn't connect, because that happened to me recently and it happens to me a lot. I connect with these people and then I'm with them in person. It's like, this doesn't even feel like the same person that I was talking to on the phone. That's just so frustrating to me.
Or Christine, you meet them in person and you have a great first date and then it's like,
right. Yeah, I don't know.
And that might be, and realistically, you and I talked about, the potential for you being open to doing work, you know what I mean? So that can be a very real thing that like, if we can totally be enjoying someone, enjoying the conversation, things like that. But then if we do kind of have something that's keeping people at a distance without us even realizing it as a protective mechanism, we meet up with people and we're like, nah, we find something wrong. Like, I didn't feel anything. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm very, very guilty of that too, where my brain is like, I really want a relationship. And then I'll find X, Y, and Z wrong with every single person I come across.
Yeah, I find XYZWUFP. What the fuck? It's like, I don't get it. It's like, I'm not trying to be hard on somebody. And I know that they're great people and they have great qualities. But then I really look at them and go, you know what? They're really not at that place that I want, or I need a man to be. You know, I can't be up here and then the person I'm dating be on this level, you know, with no career or no job or no personality or no penis, or, you know, I don't get it. It's like, or micro, or it's like, fuck. I'll tell you what happened to me this week. I met somebody. We talked tremendously long hours for a week. I mean, a lot. We talked a lot. We texted a lot. We get together on our first date and it was so boring and it didn't really go anywhere. Tried it again. I thought, you know what? This is a great guy. I just want to give him another shot. We went out again. Same thing. I'm like, okay, it just isn't working. He calls me and says, hey, can you do something for Valentines? And I was thinking, I actually was working as a chef on Valentine's for a couple I know. And I was at the place and I needed something. And he's texting me saying, hey, if you need something. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. He says, let's get together after you're done and I'll bring what you need to you because I couldn't leave. Great. He says while he meets me there, hey, this Valentine's thing is bullshit. You know, I hate that there's one day and I think that every day should be it. And I said, just hold up a second here. So you're saying that it's not okay to make a girl feel special on a day just for the fuck of it? But yet you think you should be doing it all the time. Why does that one day get excluded? And what happened to you on our first 2 or 3 dates? Because I didn't see any romance or you didn't open the door for me. You weren't a gentleman. So you need to walk the walk and not just think you're talking the talk. So that's annoying. Right?
It is. It really is. And I think like it's really interesting because I have conversations with a lot of gentlemen, right? Because I'm kind of like in this like helping people date kind of space. And, you know, I'm someone that loves traditionalness, right? I love when a man opens the door for me, pulls out my seat, like all of these things.
Yep.
But now because, you know, there is like the equality stuff and like feminism and all these different things, like guys, they've had experiences where, and this is not making excuses for them because I'm still like, nope, you better find out what a girl likes before you go out with her because that's what I like. And,
I'm hitting things. That's how much I like it.
Exactly. And you know, I do like the fact that you gave that person a second date because I have seen it where people are very nervous on the first date, so their energy is off, right? And in which case we give them a second date to see if maybe they start to relax or calm down. I actually just did that a couple weeks ago. I had a gentleman ask me to a coffee shop, so I said okay. I met him at the coffee shop. We chatted for an hour and a half. It was really lovely. So he said, can I see you again? I said, yes. And so I went out with him a second time. I wasn't really thinking anything about meeting at the coffee shop a first time. I just thought that was like a simple place to meet. And like, he had a really hard time picking a place for a second place to go. Like he only wanted to go somewhere where like there was happy hour or something cheap. He wanted to meet at like 4 p.m. Right. And then when he actually showed up to the restaurant that I picked that I thought had happy hour, he showed up there like a few minutes earlier than me and he calls me and I said, oh, did you find it? You know, I'm in trouble. What's going on? And he's like, no, they don't have happy hour. We have to go somewhere else. So yeah. And he ended up being like, I hate this because it's not, you know, it's not everything, but like I hate when you can tell someone is either cheap or has money issues because it's like radiating off them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're showing their shit like right off the bat, and it's like, ugh.
Look, I don't care if somebody has a lot of money. I
Right.
don't care if someone, makes an average living. That doesn't matter, because in the end, when I get together with somebody, we're going to be contributing together. But I also need a man to have some severe confidence, and he's got to own his shit. And if he's just, an average blue collar guy, fuck yeah. I don't care how much money you make, but don't act like it's a big fucking deal. And if you're going to be a big deal with it, how about this? How about pack us a picnic lunch and take me to the beach and let's watch the sunset together?
See, I'm a little bit more like Annie. I mean, like, I don't need someone to have a lot of money, but like, I don't want someone to like look like they're penny pitching in front of me. Like, oh, do you think 15% is enough for the waitress? You know what I mean? Like, or like, like, I don't want to name his name, Christine, but remember my dude for like a year ago, like, that told me that he didn't have a car. He lived at home. He was 40 years old, divorced with 2, didn't have a job, couldn't even afford to get me a coffee. Yeah, I'm going to be a superficial bitch. I'm not going out with you. He wanted just to take a walk at a park, which could have been nice if he left everything else out and said, that's what I want to do with you. Let's just take a walk in a park. Not like, I can't even afford a coffee. I'm a professional. I have my shit together. Not like I need you to like, pay my bills or anything, but like, if you're going to be taking me to McDonald's as like our like fucking hot date, there's a problem. Yes.
How do you, am I bad?
Yes.
Am I, I feel horrible about saying this, but I want a level of, what's the word I'm looking for? I want a level of
6 inches.
success. Yeah, no, I want more than 6. Sorry, fuck that shit. I've had below 6. I'm done. 7 under. Get it.
Sorry, Annie's not used to us
you
yet.
can be a short guy, but you can't be small in small statures area. No, not anymore. So I digress. I want a man of a certain success. Is that wrong of me? I mean, I have a level of success for myself. Why wouldn't I want that for the man I'm with?
And can our chakra work bring that in and go?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and this is where like it goes back to, so like, your heart needs to be open to attract, right? And then your solar plexus, which is your upper belly, needs to be open and clear. And that's where we hold a lot of family issues, because that's also, oddly enough, where our family issues is where our confidence is. So, right. So we want to make sure we are walking in full confidence, knowing that like, we are divine feminine women, right? We are creators. We have that womb space. Even if you don't have children, you're still a creator. Even if you're just creating your own business, you're, creating all these beautiful things in your life. And you're also like creating nurturing for someone. You know what I mean? Like, as long as and I like hate this term, but lack of something better right now off the top of my head, as long as you know what you are bringing, right, to the relationship, bringing to the table, like whatever table, it's like you're not wrong for wanting what you want and wanting what you deserve. And like, when we say a certain level of success, what we're really talking about is ambition level. I want someone to be as ambitious as me or more, because honestly, and I've said this before on stages, like, that is why I got divorced. We did not have the same ambition level. I was on a growth in all areas of life, whether both career and energetically and everything, right? I didn't want to stay in the same cycle that like my parents had repeated or anything else. Like, I wanted something different. And he wasn't there with me. He was very comfortable doing the day in, day out, and the ambition was kind of low and all of that, right? He was a good guy. Just our ambition levels were very different. So when I look at someone, I'm like, how ambitious are they? Because realistically, I already know, like, I was making more money than my husband. That was fine for me at the time, but the ambition levels being different had us going down separate paths, right? So knowing that going in, and knowing how confident you are about what you are providing to a relationship, then there is no problem. The person that you meet that really is your soulmate is going to have no problem matching that, and no problem with what you getting what you deserve. You know what I mean? Like you said, you're not asking for someone to pay your damn bills. You're just someone asking for someone to have a similar ambition level. And for me, what I find, you know, the more I kind of get into my feminine energy and enjoy being there, which took a little time to learn because, you know, I did grow up, you know, more poverty based, and I had to switch some of those mindsets out. But I grew up in survival mode, having to work multiple jobs, take care of myself, and do everything myself. So you end up being hyper independent and not really letting people help you or give to you at times, which puts you in a more masculine energy. I had to learn how to pull that back and sink more into my feminine, because I want to attract a masculine. You are going to attract the opposite energy, right? Of what you're giving out. And I'm thinking, well, I like to do my hair, I like to do my makeup, I like to be girly, so I must be feminine. But that's not necessarily the energy that you're giving out. And you're going to give out, you're going to get the opposite of what you're giving out. I was always giving out a masculine energy and not realizing it. I was leading with that. So I want a leader. I want someone that can lead me. So I'm confident in knowing and in saying right away and not wasting my time. If I see very clearly that someone can't make a decision, that they can't be like, this is what we're doing tonight and make a plan or anything of the sort, I'm like, probably not going to work out. And the faster you acknowledge that and just like say thank you, you're very nice, but no thank you, the sooner and the faster the universe will literally, like when you're very sure about what you want and you don't make any compromises, the universe will bring in someone that matches that a lot faster.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And Dawn made a comment too. One of our listeners, she called it maturity. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it is. And I find that a lot of men are intimidated by me. And I think that in the past, it's been because I gave that masculine energy off because I'm a go-getter and a survivor and a fighter. And so I agree with you, keeping it real to the point where I'm staying feminine in my energy. And I think, Gabby, we both had to kind of learn that, to be, you know, that softer feminine energy. I love that. I don't understand how time goes so fast. It drives me crazy. So Annie, I really want people to be able to contact you. I put your information up there so people could find you. Annie is on Instagram, Clubhouse, and TikTok under her at MS Annie Parker. So we want people to find you, and I'm actually very, very interested in working with you about, you know, clearing my chakras, getting myself in alignment, and, you know, being in that right headspace. I actually was wondering if you'd like to come back on the show sometime and we have some guests call in or pop in and you do like 1 card or 2 card readings for them for love.
Oh, I would love that. I love doing love readings.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I do
I would
daily
love that.
astrology on my page. So you can come over to my page and get the daily astrology reading for the collective. But love readings are my jam. So I'll do that anytime.
Oh, I love that. How can they find your page?
That's the Ms. Annie Parker. So, and I
Okay.
have, I have a whole link in my bio, and that brings you, you can follow along on my Telegram or Facebook, whatever you want.
Well, I love it. I want to get a love reading done for you by you, and I want to be like, what? So, girls, Annie, you're gorgeous. You're a beautiful soul. Thank you for talking about soulmates with us today and clearing our hearts and getting in that right space to be able to find people that are aligned with us. I can't thank you enough for being here, Gabby. It's, you know, we love having great guests, and you're amazing. We love you.
Please
I loved being here. Thank you so much for having me. I love being amongst powerful, amazing women. So thank you.
Isn't that great? I love that. We're not quite done yet. We're almost there. I'm just kind of, you know, but yeah, I think it would be such a fun thing if any of our listeners are interested in getting a love reading and coming on the show. Then what we can do is have you email us. It's 50 Shades of Bullshit, but with a YT because Gmail will not let me say the word shit. So it's 50 Shades of Bullshit with a YT at gmail.com. Email us and we'll get you in on the show with Annie and we'll do like tarot love readings. That would be a blast.
I love this.
But our engineer
So
just
fun.
sent us a message. He said, powerful and amazing women. And Jason. Yes, and you, Jason. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Gabby, again, always for being here with me. I can't do the show without you, especially when I get dumped off because of my internet, which I don't know why, but I do sometimes. But thank you for always holding the fort down, Gabby. So next week, come back, same place, same time. And until then, let's keep it real.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening, and we really hope to see you again next week.